Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to my Sunday live news stream where I've just got some news stories that I have curated. Now I can remember that word. For us to have a look at. Not that much going on tonight, so it could be a quick, not one and done, but a quick stream. We'll see. Right, so, but before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on Rumble. There we go. Yes, what I said Rumble for? I meant YouTube. We're live on YouTube. We should be live on Rumble if I refresh it and hit play, and hopefully I will appear magically. Yes, there I am. Pardon me. And we're live on Twitch. Oh, heck. Wingrace asking me if I am Tom Baker. I don't know what I've said. So what have I said? I've said something, haven't I? I don't know what I've said. Anyway, Sierra, come into my TARDIS. That's my impression of Tom Baker. I'm rubbish. Oh, yes, he was one. He was the curator. You've done that joke before and all, haven't you? You have. Yes, he was the curator. At the art gallery, of course. Right. Anyway, so where were I? All right. Later on, I'll be uploading it to Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, which are, I think, audio only. Can't do anything about that. Spotify might have video, but I'm not sure. Sometimes it seems to, sometimes it doesn't. It's bizarre. What else? The links for the stories are in the description, and I'll put timestamps on later on. I'm also on Facebook, X, and Instagram, so I'm reaching now for my books. Why don't I just put them somewhere closer? Links are in the description, as are links to my two books, Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats eating people in a North Yorkshire village, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure about UFOs and stuff, and alien abductions and alien invasions and space wars and all sorts going on. Comets, the moon, oh, you name it, it's all going on. Lizard people. That's in there as well. No, not that sort of. Reptilians. Anyway, whatever. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Hey, Windgrace says, feeling better. Yes, I am. I am 100 bazillion% better. I think I might have just eaten something that just disagreed with me because I felt rotten yesterday. But I'm fine now. And Sci-Fi Quest says, hey, Steve. He's pressing his Steve button with his prairie dog, whatever it is. But it's not showing up because it's on my stream. So I shall do hello, where are we? Where is he?
Melvin.
There we go. That's my equivalent of Steve. Anyway, right. So let's get on with this news. Right, so off we go. Just let me get myself sorted. Full screen that baby. Make myself titchy tiny. I forgot how I do this. Just do that, don't I? There we go. I'm all a dither. Right, the first one's from Empire. Star Wars. I don't know who wrote it. Oh, Ben Travis. Star Wars The Phantom Menace 25th Anniversary Cinema Release confirmed for the May the 4th Be With You weekend exclusive. And there's young Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn just after he started putting his lightsaber through that door. Anyway, right, so the epic Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn duel, the thunderous Boonta Eve pod race, the Battle of Naboo. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is packed with moments best witnessed on the big screen, spooling back to the very beginning of the Skywalker saga to depict Anakin Skywalker's first encounter with the Jedi and the beginnings of the Galactic Civil War and the menacing meddling of Palpatine. What a long sentence, wasn't it? Empire, Star Wars, couldn't make that up right. I know. I think that might be, well, maybe not. But that might be why they call the magazine Empire. It's a reference to like what they call that, picture houses. They were often called Empire, weren't they? Picture houses, because it's basically a film magazine in Empire. But it could be to do with Star Wars as well. You never know. I don't know. Anyway, Where were we? Well, good news. To mark 25 years since the film first hit cinemas in 1999, 199, it's coming back to cinemas later this year. Cue the fanfare. What, the 20th Century Fox fanfare? This May the 4th weekend, May the 4th be with you. So from Friday 3rd of May, doesn't quite work that, does it? The Phantom Menace will be re-released in cinemas for a limited time, meaning you can revisit all your favourite moments as large and loud as George Lucas intended. Will it be the 3D version? Don't know. Because if we're going to redo all the prequels, maybe all the Star Wars films, I don't know, in 3D, but only got as far as Phantom Menace, didn't it? Anyway, not only that, but the release is accompanied by epic new poster art from Matt Ferguson with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon ready to head into battle, Padme standing her ground, and the ominous face of Darth Maul looming over it all. Now this is pod racing. And there's the poster. It is a nice poster, I must admit. It is a nice poster with little Anakin standing in the middle of the street in Mos Espa by the slave quarters. Which were they like granaries or something like that they used as the slave quarters? Anyway, all your favourite moments. Are you an angel? All I think about is Robot Chicken with his massive bogey and snot coming out of his nose. It is funny. Only one empire that ever existed that never fell. The British Empire never fell, just became a Commonwealth. Yes, the sun never sets on the British Empire. Huzzah! God save the king. Who, hope he gets well from his cancer soon. Anyway, yes, now this is pod racing. I like Phantom Menace. I do. I like it. Mostly. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. To keep you going until you can see The Phantom Menace in cinemas once more, be sure to pick up Empire's epic new issue celebrating 25 years of the Star Wars prequels. Speaking to Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, who we're going to have a little story about in a bit, Natalie Portman, Liam Neeson, Ian McDiarmid. Is it McDiarmid or McDiarmid? Because it's spelled, it's IA, isn't it? But I always say McDiarmid. I don't know. Anyway, Samuel L. Jackson, Brian Blessed. Great big beef tomatoes! Ho ho! And more about starring in the films. Plus, we revisit iconic sequences with producer Rick McCallum, stunt coordinator Nick Gillard, and concept designer Ian McCaig, breaking down the pod race, the Geonosis arena battle, and the Mustafar duel. We get a closer look, so they picked one from each film there, didn't they? We get a closer look at rarely seen concept art from across the trilogy. We speak to designer Ellen Lee Moon on the story behind her legendary Phantom Menace poster, and much, much more. Find it on the newsstands from Thursday, 50th of February, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Right, 25th anniversary release of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is in cinemas for a limited time from the 3rd of May. Be with you. Don't work, does it, 3rd? So we'll just say 4th. Hang on, where are we? Wingris says, I like it too, but I was the target age. My mum didn't like it. She was very disappointed. She was. But I liked it. I asked Mr. H about the beginning of Alien 3 earlier. Yeah, what did he say? Don't know. Bet he got his muscles out, didn't he? But he flexed a bit. I'm Mr. H. Bless him. Bless him. The beginning of Alien 3. Why did you ask him about that? What's it got to do with Mr. H? Beginning of Alien 3, just the ship has a fire. It shows a couple of fingers of a face hugger. And then the pod's ejected and goes down to Fury. Fury 161, which for some reason in Alien Resurrection he calls Fury 16. I think he was watching the 4.3 version. Or Joss Whedon. Anyway, how is the JMS drama? The JMS drama, that's with Jay, isn't it, from Side Trek. He said no idea. Okay, I don't know what you're on about. What's happened with Alien 3? I don't know. Oh, the magic egg. Oh, right. Well, maybe there were two. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she had one with her, the Queen, and she just left it. You know, maybe she detached herself from the egg sac. Maybe she still had an egg up there, if you know what I mean, and deposited it in the Nostromo. Who knows? Does it really matter? Nah, not really. Anyway, go and watch Phantom Menace in theatres on 4th of May. On May the 4th, be with you. In a galaxy far, far away. I just said that so I could do my drinking game of water. Anyway, right. What's next? Let's see what's next. I bet Sci-Fi Quest and Windgrace are both going to rush out and watch it at the theatre. I wonder if it is going to be the 3D version. Probably not. I can't remember if I've seen it. I can't remember if I've seen the 3D version. I didn't see it at the cinema, but I might have acquired a 3D version by other means. But I can't remember if I watched it or not. Before my television was taken off me by my son. Of course it matters, it's a huge plot hole like a facehugger laying two embryos. Melvin's getting angry. It doesn't, it's only a film. It's only a film, for God's sake. Anyway, right. Well, as I said, she might have had some other eggs up there in a ovipositor after she detached. Maybe she still had a couple of eggs up there. Who knows? Who knows? It's, how long's it been since that came out? It's 30 years or however long it's been. Let it go. Let it go. Wingris says, I don't think I will. Need to see Search for Spock at cinema. Is that coming out again? Is it? I don't know. I can't remember if I went to see that at the cinema. I don't think I did, to be honest. Don't think I did, but I could be wrong. It's a long time ago. Right. In the galaxy far, far away, drinking game. Next up, here we go. From comicbook.com, Adam Barnhart. Oh, pardon me. Star Wars, The Acolyte, reportedly targeting summer release. Star Wars, The Acolyte will reportedly see release summer 2024. And there were a video there by the looks of it. I'll not hit refresh. Or replay, whatever, because I don't know what it was. It was released in 1984, so the special... Yes, oh, yes, for its anniversary. You'd think so. They won't. They won't. But they should, but they won't. Anyway. Saw TMP and Wrath of Khan for theirs. Cool. Right. Comicbook.com. The newest Star Wars series may be coming a lot sooner than expected. According to one new report, The Acolyte should be hitting Disney Plus this summer. First reported by Collider, a firm release date has yet to be revealed, though the site does say fans should be able to visit a galaxy far, far away drinking game. I can't be bothered. Sometime summer 2024. So that's like between, I don't know, June and September, isn't it, sometime? The Acolyte is expected to be one of the two Star Wars shows hitting Disney Plus this year, the other being the Jude Law starring Skeleton Crew. Exact release dates for either show have yet to be confirmed by Lucasfilm. The Acolyte is set some 50 years prior to the events of The Phantom Menace. I thought it was like 100 years before. Have they changed it? You never know. In a period of the Star Wars, called the High Republic. Because, Leslie Headland loves all of the Star Wars, of course. During this time, the Jedi reign supreme, and the Sith are long thought extinct. We're taking a look at the political and personal and spiritual things that came up in a time period that we don't know much about, the Acolyte, or we don't really want to know about, to be honest, in my opinion. The Acolyte creator Leslie Headland, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, just thought I'd throw that in there, My question when watching The Phantom Menace was always like, well, how did things get to this point? How did we get to a point where a Sith Lord can infiltrate the Senate and none of the Jedi pick up on it? Like, what went wrong? What are the scenarios that led us to this moment? I think we know, really, don't we? You know, they got too complacent, didn't they? The Acolyte, finally the series that has no sabres or blasters. I can't wait to tear it apart. It's going to be terrible, isn't it? The show's ensemble includes Amanda Stenberg, Lee Jung-jae, Manny Jacinto, I don't know, Daphne Keane, Jodie Turner-Smith, yas, patriarchy, yas, Rebecca Henderson, is that her from Dune? What's the face? Jessica Atreides, is that Rebecca Henderson, or is that somebody else? I don't know. Charlie Barnett, Dean Charles Chapman, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Margarita Levieve. Star Wars The Acolyte will debut exclusive on Disney Plus at a later date. If you haven't checked, blah, 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 blah. So, is that it? This is not a sponsored post. Oh, dear. It's going to be awful, though. It is. It's going to be terrible. I think it is. Unless it surprises us and it's the most amazing thing ever. But I doubt it. Because it's going to be all the message. And I haven't got an echo, but never mind. It's going to be all that. It is. It's going to be all girl bosses. And I'm fine with a bit of girl bossing, but just not for the sake of it, because that's what it's going to be. But I'll watch it, and it'll be rubbish. Hopefully it won't last long. Hopefully, I don't know. Do we know how many episodes it's going to be? Hopefully not many. But at least it's coming out, because there were some people saying, I mean, I was one of them, saying that it wasn't going to happen. But it is, unfortunately. Because there were people like Cameron Pasha. Well, I like Cameron Pasha. He don't go on YouTube as much as he used to, and I like listening to him. He was saying that, he was told that we might have got like a pilot or like a sizzle reel or whatever. They'll give him money for, just a small, like, as I said, like a sizzle reel or like a demo of what the series, were going to be about. But apparently they got more money than that, and they did the whole thing. So anyway, I'm sure it's crap. I'm sure it'll be crap. So there we go. Right, let's move on. That's all that's to be said about it. Right, here we go. It's from Bounded Into Comics, Spencer Bakuli, or Bakuli, I don't know. When I see it, I always think of Battle Beyond the Stars, when Kamen of the Lambda Zone is going into battle. He goes like, Lazuli! I always think of that when I see Bakuli. I've not been drinking, honest. Right, Star Wars lead Ewan McGregor makes desperate plea, asks fans to write to Disney for a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hang on, I've got a clip for this. Where are we? Where have I put it? Here we go. This is Ewan McGregor yesterday.
Have I got a second series? No. Thank you. What's nice.
There we go. Yeah, that was Ewan McGregor in an exclusive clip. Wingrace says, it was just on the stream a couple of days ago. I didn't see it, though. Me neither. Right, in making, and there he is, looking pained. I am so woe-begotten. Oh, there we go. Bids farewell to Princess Leia. Played by, who was a good little actress, Vivian Lyra Blair, and even she thought the series was ridiculous. She was talking about where they hid her under his overcoat, his trench coat, which was ridiculous. But even she knew it was garbage. And she's a kid. In making the request that perhaps only he and 7 other Disney Star Wars fans truly want to see fulfilled, 7, Obi-Wan Kenobi has asked audiences to write to Disney in order to petition them for a second season of the Disney Plus series. There's young Luke. The long-time franchise star made his plea during a February 3rd panel appearance at MegaCon Orlando, following a conversation regarding his time on set filming the solo Star Wars series. McGregor revealed that at the end of the day, he was very happy with how the production ultimately turned out. I suppose somebody had to be, didn't they? And there's a video of it. The 6th episode... where is it now? The 6th episode really got to me, you know, he told the crowd, probably in his Scottish accent. I was just sitting there. I won't do a Scottish accent because I just sound like Billy Connolly. I was just sitting there. Hey. I'm making myself cough now. I was just sitting there with tears rolling down my face, watching. I was so touched by it. I was so pleased, so happy. Whereas other people were sitting with tears rolling down their face from laughter. Because it was just so ludicrous. I'm just so happy that we managed to do it. Maybe he thought it were a comedy. Maybe he thought it was a Star Wars comedy, like the lower decks of Star Wars, but in live action. I'm just so happy that we managed to do it, and also that we did it like that. The Birds of Prey. Oh, I forgot who were in that. And the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn actor continued. I thought they were the same film. I can't remember. It was originally going to be a movie, and I've often thought, should it be a movie? And I kind of think it's great that we did it that way. It's a longer story, and hopefully it's more satisfying as a result. Why wouldn't the audience? I've seen the clip of him, you know, asking for a second season. And the audience like cheer. I thought, why are they laughing at him and throwing things? They shouldn't be. We got more screen time to weave a story. Yes, a bad one. To this end, McGregor then admitted, I just hope we could do another one, before turning to ask the MegaCon attendees for their help in making that happen. Can everyone write to Disney, the actor asked, if we just... I'll give you some email addresses at the end. Just say, Dear Disney, let's have another. Let's have a bit more of Obi-Wan Kenobi, please. Hang on, we'll do it again.
Have I got a second series? Have I got a second series? No. No. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. And there he is with the... We're spying with Anakin Skywalker, with Hayden Christensen, who looked like 40 years old when he's supposed to be like 20. They didn't like de-age him at all. Did they forget? I don't know. Notably, this is not the first time McGregor has made public mention of his interest in picking up Obi-Wan Kenobi's signature blue lightsaber for another television outing. Asked during an August 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter as to whether or not she and the actor had spitballed any ideas. Oh, it's about Deborah Chow. She and the actor had spitballed any ideas on set for a potential season 2. Obi-Wan Kenobi series director Deborah Chow recalled, You always think you're going to end a series like this in some magnificent way. But instead you end up in a parking lot with second unit and hardly anybody there. It's always so anticlimactic. But as Ewan and I finished our very last shot on second unit and I was literally taking off my headphones, he was already pitching me ideas for season 2. Can we make it not crap, please, he should have said. And no, ridiculous slapstick comedy routines. Turning to her own interest in returning for a second season, Chow posited, There's another 10 years with plenty of stories, and I don't think it's off the board. It is a never-say-never situation, but we really did conceive this to be a limited series. Maybe they should have just stayed on Tatooine, and he could have had an adventure on Tatooine, couldn't he? But I suppose they did that with Boba Fett, didn't they? So, sort of. As of writing, details as to what McGregor's supposed pictures to Chow exactly entailed remain unknown. However, one can only hope that whatever he proposed was better than the first season's trench coat escape scene. Oh, here we go, got a picture here. Otherwise known as perhaps the absolute dumbest moment in all of Star Wars canon and non-canon history. And there's could have found a wide shot of it, couldn't they? It was ridiculous, absolutely bonkers. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's it. There we go. I'm sure he will win this time. I liked it when he just ran off when they were faced with Darth Vader standing there with his lightsaber lit, and Obi-Wan there just like looked and went, and ran away. It was crazy. And the laser fence that they could just walk round, but, they couldn't figure that out. But Obi-Wan, God, it were awful. It were awful. So anyway, he's begging for a second season. Maybe he's become typecast. Maybe he can't get any work anywhere else. Or maybe we're kidding. Maybe we're just, throwing it out there to see how the fans would react. And of course they all went, Sorry, I'm being cruel. Anyway, right, let's move on. Let's move on to Predator. I couldn't remember what my next story was then. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, Boris Kitt. Dynamic, cool name. I don't know why, it just is. Because it's got a Y in it as Boris. Anyway, I'm curious now who Boris Kitt is. Is it a man or a woman? You never know these days, do you? Anyway, right, the new Predator movie in the works with Dan Trachtenberg directing. The filmmaker is back on the hunt after reinvigorating 20th Century Studios' sci-fi franchise with 2022's hit Prey. Can it be classed as a hit, though? I don't know, because it were on streaming, wasn't it? It were on Hulu in America and Disney Plus over here. I suppose if it got lots of views, it would be classed as a hit, I suppose. But it didn't make any money, did it? Son of Karloff and Eartha. Could be. Could be. Eartha Kitt, bless her. Filmmaker Dan Trachtenberg in 20th Century Studios. Is he related to, what's the face from Buffy? Michelle Trachtenberg, is it? I don't know. I think I've looked before, and I think I ask that every time his name pops up. I don't think he is. Trachtenberg, who earned an Emmy nomination for his 2022 Predator movie Prey, is returning to the sci-fi action horror franchise to make a new instalment. See, this is it, they can get nominated for Emmys, because it were on, it wasn't a theatrical release, was it? It was a TV movie, essentially, wasn't it? So it got an Emmy nomination. Say that 3 times quickly. Can't we say that? Emmy nomination. Titled Badlands, the new Predator, hopefully not the, was it Terrence Malick film Badlands? It was Sissy Spacek, I think, wasn't it? I think I've seen it once, and it's crap. I'm not a Terrence Malick fan. People say, his films are amazing. No, they're not. Titled Badlands, the new Predator features not a sequel to Prey, which was set in 1719 and centred on a young Comanche woman forced to fight for survival against the intergalactic hunters, but rather a brand new story. Plot details are being kept secret, but this one is said to be set sometime in the future. Like Prey, the future of Prey or our future? Like Prey, however, it too will feature a female lead. Of course, because there's no such thing as a male lead in Hollywood these days. I know there is, but they're getting rare. They seem to be coming back a little bit now, though, don't they? Mackie versus Predator. That'd be good, wouldn't it? In the Badlands, yes. And the DMZ. Oh, yeah, Seska versus... I like Seska. I've got an autograph. I think I met her once at a convention. I forgot her bloody name now. But anyway. It popped in my head then and then disappeared. It'll come to me. But anyway. Right, where were we? As with Prey, Trachtenberg wrote the story with Patrick Ayson, probably mispronouncing that, with the latter penning the screenplay. The project has been working... Yes, Martha... What's her face? Yes, Martha Hackett. Yes, Martha Hackett. The project has been working under invisibility for some time. Sorry, Windgrace reminded me, so I'll just put that there. I didn't remember it. I'm hoping for a Predator versus Colonial Marines movie. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be cool. Let's rock! Whatever. You can wish all you want or hope. It'll probably not happen. If we want it, they'll not do it. It's like Commander Krug in Star Trek 3, saying, we want a Predator versus Colonial Marines movie. And he said, no. And said, why not? Because you wish it. Anyway. Forgot where I want now. The project has been working under invisibility for some time. Well, it's a Predator, isn't it? And is far enough along that a July start of production is being planned. Badlands isn't the only Predator project in the works. The surprise success of Prey crossed from critics to audience and reinvigorated the franchise. I did like Prey, I must admit. Now the studio is planning a host of Predator projects with Trachtenberg at the centre. 20th century had no comment. What about the 21st century then? I think they mean 20th century studios. Get Fox back. Put the Fox name back on. Predator was the muscle-bound action 1987 movie that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, the late, great Carl Weathers and Jesse Ventura, and others as commandos being stalked in a jungle by a fearsome alien. John McTiernan directed the film, which helped cement Schwarzenegger's star power. 3 sequels followed. 1990's Predator 2, which I really, really like. I like that. I like Predator 2 as much as Predator. 2010's Predators, which were all right. And 2018's The Predator, which were bloody awful. With Prey considered a prequel. The franchise has also launched popular comics. Not mentioning Alien vs. Predator, either. Franchise also launched popular comics. Marvel Comics last year put out Predator vs. Wolverine and video games. They're not even mentioning two Alien vs. Predator films, which I enjoy. I think the decent films. I don't know why they get a lot of grief. They're fun, and that's what they need to be. Then they don't make sense, but never mind. I bet Sci-Fi Quest is going to berate me now. Prey proved to be a massive streaming success when it debuted on Hulu, setting viewing records for the streamer. Oh, that's why it's classed as a hit then. But originally the movie was made with a theatrical release in mind. That changed, however, during 20th Century's sale to Disney. According to sources, the Fox-owned studio had an output deal with HBO, which meant that Prey would have gone to a rival studio after its theatrical release. With strengthening streaming services a top priority in those intense days of the streaming wars, and with the pandemic still hampering box office, new owner Disney believed releasing the movie on Hulu was the best option. Trachtenberg caught the attention of Hollywood with 2016's 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I've only seen once, but it was all right. A tense and claustrophobic entry in J.J. Abrams' produced Cloverfield movie series. It's not really a Cloverfield film. They're like the shoehorned a couple of references in, didn't they? He's read by CA and Grandview, blah, blah, blah. So there we go. So I look forward to that. About me. But I'd like to see a sequel to Prey, because it did end, didn't it, with the Comanche artwork of the Predators coming back, didn't it? So they did kind of set up a sequel to Prey, not one set far in the future or whatever. Anyway, To Catch a Predator is good too. I have no idea. Is that another joke? I don't know. No, To Catch a Killer, starring Brian Dennehy as John Wayne Gacy. Remember that film? I remember that one. What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils. Yes, and what's this tie nonsense, rubbish, whatever. CIA got you pushing too many pencils. Anyway, I look forward to it. I'm sure I'll be doing Predator at some point on Magnificent Mondays. But anyway, we've got a new one coming. I don't know when did they say they're starting filming in, when did it say? July to start production. So it'll be, I don't know, early 2026, do you reckon? Late 2025 at the earliest. To Catch a Predator was a TV show where they caught PDF files. Oh. Oh, yes, it's PDF files. Yes, I see what you mean. Yes. Right. I get it. good use there of, without setting YouTube off PDF files. I have to remember that one. Sorry, but I need to hear it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We're getting there. Right, let's move on. We do have a Doctor Who story at the end. So we'll do Ruby Sunday. Then we'll do that. We'll do Ruby Sunday then. Right, Star Trek. Starfleet Academy. It's from Screen Rant, John Norquiola. Starfleet Academy show is trying to tell a Star Trek story in a new way, says Tawny Newsome. Star Trek Lower Decks, Tawny Newsome, who I quite like, I must admit, seems quite a personable young lady, is a writer for Starfleet Academy, which is doing something previous Star Trek TV shows haven't focused on. There she is as Beckett Mariner in the crossover episode of Strange New Worlds. Yes, Starfleet 90210. Yes, it is. That's what it's going to be, isn't it? Oh, and look, and there's I've got his name now. Not Bixby, is it? 'Cause that's Bill Bixby, the gardener. It's him, isn't it? Is it Bixby? Something like that, isn't it? Right, anyway, Tawny Newsome says Star Trek Starfleet Academy is trying to tell a Star Trek story in a new way by focusing on the young cadets, with a capital C for some reason, who hope to become the starship captains and crews of the future. Announced in March 2023, Star Trek Starfleet Academy is a new TV series in development at Paramount Plus, led by showrunners Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau. Any relation to Martin or Juliet, I don't know. In addition to her gig voicing Lieutenant Beckett Mariner on Star Trek Lower Decks and playing Mariner in live action in Star Trek Strange New World Season 2's crossover episode, Newsome, in bold, is also a writer for Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Put that in bold for some reason. Boothby, that's it, Boothby. Bixby. Yes, Star Trek Granger. If they did it in like the TNG era, or maybe even in the Star Trek Picard Season 3 era, Star Trek Legacy era, I'd be all for it, to be honest. But I don't want to know about Starfleet Academy in the 32nd century, or whatever century they're in Discovery. I don't care. A Starfleet Academy project has been in the works for over 30 years, and I didn't care then either. After the 1989 box office disappointment of Star Trek V The Final Frontier, well, I'll be damned, a marshmallow. If they did it with the Prodigy Kids, I would love it, lol. But then it'd have to be animated, wouldn't it? But, yeah, I'd say that'd be fine as well, because the characters we already know. They should do like one about Reds. Is it Reds? No, what do they call it now? Is it Red Squad or Nova Squad? It was Red Squad, wasn't it? With Wesley Crusher and seeing the accident, that caused all that in is it The First Duty? Is that what it's called? That episode that killed poor Josh. What's his face? That's the only Academy thing I want to see. When they do their sunburst, starburst manoeuvre. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. Start again. After the 1989 box office disappointment of Star Trek V The Final Frontier, producer Harv Bennett planned the Starfleet Academy set origin story for James T. Kirk's Spock and the future crew of the USS Enterprise, titled Star Trek The First Adventure. That'd have been horrible. Sometimes called Star Trek The Academy Years. I remember that popping up in magazines and stuff back in the day, before the internet. And I wasn't happy about it then either. That plan fell apart when Paramount opted to reunite the cast of Star Trek the original series for one last time for Star Trek VI The Undiscovered Country. Various Star Trek series and movies have visited Starfleet Academy since then, and Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Episode 4, All Is Possible, was a kind of backdoor pilot for the 32nd century Starfleet Academy show, when Lieutenant Sylvia Tilly, remember she used to be a cadet, Mary Wiseman led a group of cadets stranded on an icy planet. Oh, yes. I was thinking I can't remember that episode, but yes, I remember that now. And that was rubbish as well. That was a rubbish episode. You know, a full series with Will Wheaton. No, they'd get somebody else to. 'Cause it's too old now, isn't it? Get, recast Wesley Crusher. Somebody else. It would be interesting if it's like Police Academy. Get Steve Guttenberg out of mothballs. Get him in. Is he still alive? I had no idea. At the 51st Annual Saturn Awards red carpet, Trek Movie talked to Tawny Newsome and asked her about Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Newsome spoke about Starfleet Academy's young adult focus, noting that the rough age for entry as a cadet should be about 18 years old, and the show has students and teachers. Careful not to suggest that Starfleet Academy is a college show. Newsome instead offered a different headline highlighting the goals of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Read her quote below. Trek Movie asked, "Okay, what headline do you want us to say about Academy? What should the fans know?" To which she replied, "I love this. Okay, the headline that I want you to say about Academy is we have a room full of writers who love Star Trek and are trying to tell a Star Trek story in a new way, and we're really excited to do that." That's it. Although not confirmed by Paramount Plus, there have been many indications that Star Trek Starfleet Academy is set after Star Trek Discovery Season 5 in the 32nd century. Discovery Season 4 saw the doors of Starfleet Academy reopened after 100 years following the shattering of the United Federation of Planets by the Burn. What awful. What awful. Although Starfleet Academy was also prominent in Star Trek Picard Season 2's early 25th century time frame, signs point to Star Trek Starfleet Academy as a direct spin-off of Star Trek Discovery, because Alex Kurtzman wouldn't know, proper Star Trek if it came up and slapped him in the face. He thinks, because Star Trek Picard Season 3 were a success, he thinks it's all his doing. He thinks it's all, and everybody loves all of Star Trek because people like Star Trek Picard Season 3. Yes, as if The Burnham wasn't bad enough, they made The Burn. Yeah. Note. Star Trek Prodigy Season 1's finale saw the young ragtag alien crew of the USS Protostar, except for what's-her-face, hoping to be enrolled in Starfleet Academy before being rejected. Right. Oh, God, there's Sylvia Tillian, the non-binary person whose name I can't remember. We're going around in the 32nd century correcting people's pronouns, for Christ's sake. Oh, God! Star Trek TV shows and movies are primarily about Starfleet heroes already applying their skills as the best of the best. And Star Trek Starfleet Academy has a prime opportunity to explore what it is like to be students who make mistakes while learning and striving to become future Starfleet officers. Although Star Trek The Next Generation had Wesley Crusher, Will Wheaton... Oh, hang on. Where is it? Oh, God, I've lost it. It's there.
Will Wheaton.
And Star Trek Deep Space Nine had Nog, the late Aaron Eisenberg, and Jake Sisko. Is it Sirak? It's Sirak, isn't it? Sirak Lofton. Star Trek on the whole hasn't focused entirely on young adults as main characters. A rare exception was the first act of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek 2009, where James T. Kirk, Chris Pine and the crew of the USS Enterprise came aboard the starship as Starfleet Academy cadets. Yeah, but they were all about 30. They weren't 18, were they? Oh, God. I think Starfleet sounded like assholes at the end of Prodigy. They were a bit harsh, weren't they? But Jane Whale sought them out. We haven't done yet. Tawny Newsome is a Star Trek aficionado, as well as one of the most prominent actors. Was that a list of what we've seen him in? Oh, yes. Star Trek movies and TV episodes about Star Trek Academy and cadets. TNG, The First Duty, which, I want to see explored further with a recast Wesley Crusher. And obviously a recast Nick Locarno and Sito Jaxa. the other one. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 22, Valiant. I didn't like that. I didn't like that episode. I didn't like it. That was that Nova Squad, the Red Squad. I get mixed up which is which. They had their own Defiant class ship, didn't they? That was Valiant, wasn't it? Star Trek 2009, Plea. Star Trek Discovery Season 4, Episode 4, All Is Possible. Picard Season 2, Episode 1, The Stargazer. And Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 10, Old Friends, New Planets. Flashback. Was it Red Squad? Right, so I get mixed up which is which. So which is the best then? Is Nova Squad the best or Red Squad? Or is it the competition between them? The people in charge of Starfleet tend to be a-holes quite often. Jamie will turn them all into salamanders. Hey, don't knock that episode. I like it. Don't knock Threshold. I like it. Anyway, Tawny Newsome is a Star Trek aficionado, as well as one of the most prominent actors in Star Trek on Paramount Plus's growing franchise. And she says Starfleet Academy's growing franchise, that they're making less and less of it, but never mind. And she says Starfleet Academy's writers' room is filled with people who love Star Trek and care about its vast canon. Just as Star Trek Prodigy instilled the virtues of Starfleet in the USS Protostar's young alien crew, Starfleet Academy is an exciting opportunity to re-examine what Starfleet and the Federation stand for in the 32nd century. By being about young adults as cadets, Star Trek Starfleet Academy is literally about the future of Star Trek and all the possibilities that entails. Pardon me. And it's in development. Why did they need a note there? No idea. But Nova Squad is the team Will Wheaton snitched on. Snitchers get stitches. Yes, but they were supposed to be the best of the best, weren't they? Anyway, I'm not looking forward to it. Not looking forward to Starfleet Academy. I hope they don't make it. Like I said, I'd like to see one set in the TNG era. Well, no, I don't want to see one at all. I don't want to see loads of snot-nosed cadets running round. I mean, we had snot-nosed cadets on in Star Trek Wrath of Khan, didn't we? They were a ship of cadets, and look what happened there. The Enterprise limped home, didn't it? Because of the cadets. I'm blaming them. I'm blaming the cadets, not Khan. Anyway, let's move on. As I said, it's going to be a quickie tonight, probably. What's this one? Speaking of JJ Trek, it's going to be mostly teen angst with backdrops of Star Trek. Yeah. It can be like, dude, bro, dude. I'm so going to bang that chick cadet, bro. That's what it's going to be all about in the 32nd century. Right. Oh, that's my fear. Yes. As Sci-Fi Quest said, it's going to be Starfleet 90210. It's going to be all present day angst, present day, for a modern audience, not for a 32nd century audience, for a 21st century audience. Except for 5% of the 21st century audience aim. That's what it's going to be aimed at. As most things are these days. Anyway. Right, where were we? Right, slash film. Whitney Seibold says, a deleted scene in Star Trek Beyond would have revealed a devastating Sulu detail. And there's John Cho as Hikaru Sulu in one of the Star Treks. I can't remember which one's this. Is this Star Trek Beyond? I don't bloody know. In 2005, actor George Takei said he goes for Rigel 7. Speaking to Frontiers magazine, described his coming out process, noting that revealing his sexuality had to be at that late date a political act. Speaking anecdotally, many Trekkies had known for years that Takei was gay, even though he had never had a public coming out moment. And nobody cared. Much like Rob Halford of Judas Priest. Everybody knew he were gay, but nobody cared because he's an amazing singer in an amazing band. And then he finally came out as gay, and everybody said, yeah, we know. We don't care. Anyway, after announcing himself, Takei became an outspoken queer rights activist. But I thought, when did queer become like, did they just take it back and own it? Because when I was a kid, you called somebody queer, it was an insult. But anyway, never mind. Speaking at public events and spreading queer news online, sometimes his activism was even fun and cheeky. I know I sound old. For a while, one could go to Takei's website and order rainbow T-shirts that read, "That's so Takei." And say, "Oh my, oh my." Season 5, episode 19, the first duty, Nicholas Locarno was so bad he changed his name to Tom Paris in Voyager. Maybe he was like, what they call it, when they change your identity, you go into hiding. I forgot what they call it now. Maybe one of those things. Takei didn't appear in Justin Lin's 2016 film, Star Trek Beyond, as actor John Cho had taken over his 1966 role of Hikaru Sulu, plus, like I said, George Takei were about 105. With the release of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek in 2009. Wanting to pay homage to Takei, however, the makers of Star Trek Beyond revealed that Sulu was raising a young daughter with his husband, Ben. Doug. Is that Doug Young or Doug Jung? Dunno, I say Young. Sulu's sexuality hadn't been mentioned in the Clevin verse. Proofreading, thing of the past. Hashtag thing of the past. So giving him a husband did not alter continuity. Takei reportedly didn't like that Sulu was made gay, saying that Gene Roddenberry created Sulu as a heterosexual character, and that Takei played the role as a heterosexual character. I don't think we ever... The only time I remember seeing him, chasing a woman in Star Trek were in the Mirror Mirror episode. So that was like the Mirror Universe Sulu, wasn't it? When Uhura pulled a knife on him. I don't think I've ever seen him in a relationship with anybody on Star Trek, the original series, but I could be wrong. Windgrace will set me right. It says, my original headcanon was he was always Paris. Oh, we're back on Nick Locarno again. But he changed to Locarno to avoid living in the shadow of Admiral Paris. But I proved that wrong. Sulu chased a girl early when he was a botanist, I think, did he? Oh, right, fair enough. Sci-fi was just as a full stop. I do wish YouTube would move that bloody heart. It's a nuisance, isn't it? It's a nuisance. I can see it there. I don't know what it's for. Still don't know what it's for. The damn thing. Lower decks. Oh, lower decks proved that wrong. Is that what you said? No, right, fair enough. Right, cool. Oh, yes, but lower LD, lower decks. You should have done it capitals. Lower decks proved that wrong. Right. Forgot where I want now. Sulu's sexuality in Beyond is hardly an issue, however, as he's only seen with Ben in a very brief dialogue-free scene. You just see him like meet at Yorktown Station. If you were in the bathroom, you'd miss it. Ben, however, originally played a larger, albeit off-screen role in Beyond in an earlier cut of the film. Speaking to Trek Movie in 2016, Cho revealed that Sulu had a few lines of dialogue explaining how Ben came to be living on Starfleet's massive Yorktown station, which I hated. It was too big. It was too big, for God's sake. It was like, if they'd said it were built by an alien race from, and it was just found, it had been around for a million years, some ancient civilization had built it, and the local aliens had moved in, and Starfleet had got a station there as well, but it was too big for like 23rd century technology, in my opinion. And that it wasn't the rosiest story. It seems there was some marital dissonance between Sulu and Ben. And yes, I know what they call it, space dock. I know that's in the 23rd century, and that's really big as well. But it's not as big as that bloody Yorktown station. Sorry, I was in the bathroom. Did I miss it? Yes, you did. When did he have time for a family? Yes, because he had I forgot her name now. She was in Star Trek Generations, wasn't she? Anyway. And there he is. What they look? Oh, this is when they're on the planet, innit? And it's all kicking off. And Kirk's going to be riding around with his motorbike. I liked Beyond, apart from the motorbike bit. And the music, destroying the aliens. Stupid thing. At the beginning of Star Trek Beyond, the USS Enterprise is returning from an extended space mission, eager to rest and get back to their families. The crew's time off is to be spent at Yorktown, a massive space complex constructed of multiple giant rings. Sulu lives in Yorktown with Ben and his daughter Demora, yes, a character introduced as an adult in 1994 Star Trek Generations. Later in the film, a vengeance-mad villain named Kroll, Idris Elba, as Gary from Nerdrotic calls him, Idris Elba, armed with futuristic super weapons, puts Yorktown in danger. There's a brief shot of Ben and Demora running for their lives. We'll have to have a drink just a minute. Hang on, where are we? That's no moon, that's a space station. It's too big, I didn't like it. Too big. Anyway. That shot, it seems, was meant to carry with it a lot more emotional heft. Cho talked about a scene wherein Ben was said to have moved to Yorktown against his will. Cho described it thus. It's nearly as bad as whilst. There was a scene that is not in the film but was written, which is very revealing, where Sulu makes a confession to Uhura and says that his husband didn't want to move out to Yorktown, which is this remote outpost. But he made that sacrifice for Sulu's career. Sulu felt a very heavy sense of guilt about... So who's Demora's mother? I'm just curious. Very heavy sense of guilt about having made that move and now had inadvertently endangered his family. And then Uhura comforts him. You know, that was a colour that wouldn't have come out if we hadn't been paired off. And I thought that was cool. Joe's reference to being paired off alludes to the structure of Beyond, which sees the USS Enterprise destroyed over an alien world. You know what, I didn't care because it was ugly. But not as ugly as the Enterprise A that came out at the end of the film. That was bloody awful. Anyway, and the crew scattered. Each plot line follows a different pair of characters. Sulu is paired with Uhura, Zoe Saldana. And there's Ben and the young Demora. And somebody thinking the Geordie LaForge there. And is that Jared Leto, probably? Where are we now? McGregor says, I've seen more than one Star Trek video recently saying Star Trek fans generally dislike the Kelvin films except for Into Darkness, which utterly breaks my brain. I don't know any... But saying that, though, my mate liked Into Darkness. He's a Star Trek fan. And he liked Into Darkness. And I don't know why, because it's awful. Yes, it breaks my brain as well. I thought literally everyone disliked that. Yeah, apart from my mate. He liked it. I was surprised when he liked it. But he won't watch Rise of Skywalker. I keep trying to get him to watch it. Star Wars, obviously. Rise of Palpatine, sorry. Keep trying to get him to watch it, but he won't. And he's a Star Wars fan, but yet he likes Into Darkness. Unbelievable. As bad or worse than the Enterprise G. Worse. At least with the Enterprise G, I can say it's the Titan A, can't I? Whereas the design of the Kelvin Enterprises, they're just ugly. They're just ugly ships. Apart from the saucer sections, which are fags, they look generally the same as what we've seen before. It's the secondary hull and the nacelles and all that and the struts. Just ugly, in my opinion. Right, Ben's view. Right. Speaking to CBR in 2016, actor Doug Jung, who was also the film's co-screenwriter, along with Simon Pegg, had nothing but nice things to say about working on Star Trek Beyond. He did say he did a lot of research with his co-screenwriter, Simon Pegg. I didn't read that, honest. I actually remember the name. And director Justin Lin, and they had a lot of conversations as to the utopian ideals of Star Trek. He also revealed that he hadn't given his canonical acting role in the massive Star Trek franchise enough thought. Now that he had been established as the spouse of one of Trek's main characters, only in the Kelvin verse, Jung, whatever, was suddenly confronted with the notion that Ben Sulu. So, just, we all thought it, didn't we? Ben Sulu, Kylo Ren, or Kylo Ren, would now be spread throughout the franchise's expanded universe, Jung said. And just remember all those convention opportunities to make lots of money from autographs. You know what? I never even thought of it that way. Now I'm terrified. No, whenever people ask, it wasn't by design. Like, I ended up doing that because of just really the situation. We were shooting in Dubai. Very nice. And the actor who was going to play that role ended up dropping out 2 days before. So they asked me if I'd do it. It was really, really great to do. Cypherquest says, I'd have thought that maritime superstition would transfer to space. Changing a ship's name is bad luck. Terry Metalis, you see, is not the he's not the messiah that everybody thought he was. In my opinion. Still want to know where the Shrike came from. Still want to know that. But anyway, as for worrying about the alteration of a character's sexuality, Jung said it was all in the spirit of Star Trek and that he didn't concern himself with fan reactions, adding, I actually never thought of the fan reaction or anything. I was more afraid of missing on some other things like Spock would never say that. That's actually counter to something that's referenced in the Corbomite manoeuvre. So maybe it's, again, that firm belief that the foundation of that universe supports these ideas and the people who are fans of it, of course, are going to accept it. Trekkies accepted it. It was generally a decent script in Star Trek Beyond. I didn't mind it. Apart from the motorbike riding, apart from the fact that the USS, I forgot its bloody name again, the Warp 4 ship. I can't bloody remember that now. Same name as the fella that died in the transporter in Relics. I forgot his name. That. It had a bridge window and not a view screen. I didn't like that. But anyway. And the music destroying the alien probe ships, whatever things. He said he knows where the Shrike came from, but he didn't have time to tell it. I argue there was time, but whatever. Yeah, they had bloody 10 episodes to tell it. Just had to just mention it. They got this ship from, I don't know, it was there at Section 31 dock or whatever. I don't know. Franklin, yes, Franklin. Aye, that's the one. That's why Matt Damon said he's a space pirate in The Martian. Did he? I don't know. I haven't seen The Martian once. But all right. That's all. I don't know why people rave about it. Anyway, is that it? Right, so there we go. Nobody cares that Sulu's gay. Didn't care in the film. I rolled my eyes a little bit because I thought, shoehorn that one in. But I thought, whatever. It didn't affect the story, did it? So who cares, really? Who cares? It doesn't really matter. But the devastating detail is that he's having marital problems with Ben, who didn't want to move to Yorktown. Don't blame him, because it wasn't very nice. Even though it looks like Dubai, apparently. Wait, Sulu was gay! Anyway, let's move on. Right, but not the mirror universe Sulu. He wasn't gay. So there. Probably bi. Right. Giant freaking robot. Chris Snellgrove writes, Star Trek's most famous drink makes no sense. And I was thinking, they're on about Ractogino. No, they're not. They're on about Synthahol. Because I usually don't read them, but I had a cheeky look. And there's Miles O'Brien and Dr. Bashir and Quark and various background actors. Right. For being such a geeky franchise, Star Trek has a surprising amount of alcoholic beverages, ranging from Romulan ale. Why is it always ale as well? Like Bajoran ale, Romulan ale, Andorian ale. What is it with Star Trek and ale? Anyway, a drink so good. Oh, hang on. I thought they meant Tran. You would. You would win, Grace. With Clint Howard. Have some Tranya. Speaking of the Corbomite manoeuvre, which we just mentioned in the previous article. Anyway, range from Romulan ale, a drink so good Starfleet officers have been known to smuggle it, and to Chateau Picard, a drink so bad that only its creator seems to think it's any good. Well, the vineyard's still open, isn't it? It's been going for God knows how many years, so they must be doing something right. Somebody must like it. Giant freaking robot, they are never wrong. No, they're not. Anyway, however, the most famous drink in Star Trek is arguably synthahol, a kind of synthetic alcohol that we first saw characters knocking back in The Next Generation. All these decades later, however, the drink still makes no sense because its main feature, the ability to will away inebriation, remains unexplained. I didn't know he could just will it away. I remember him saying the intoxicating effects of synthahol can be easily dismissed. So I thought they'd just go to sickbay or something and she'd give him a shot and they'll be fine. But apparently he can will it away. He can just say, oh, I'm not drunk anymore. But anyway, that's what they're saying here. There we go. It's green. Which itself were a call back, wasn't it, to original series. He had a thing that said it were green, didn't it? Which I think were Aldebaran whiskey, wasn't it? In the time of Star Trek, the original series, it wasn't uncommon to see characters like Dr. McCoy toss back alcoholic cocktails, presumably made from real liquor. McCoy, for example, is a mint julep man. However, and don't forget Scotty and his whiskey and all that. However, the Next Generation introduced synthahol, which the android commander helpfully tells Scotty is an alcohol substitute now being served aboard starships. The reason this kinder, gentler Starfleet is so cool with serving alcohol to its thousands of officers is clear. As data tells us, the effects can be easily dismissed. But how, one wonders? Yes, burp on your sober. Like fizzy lifting drinks. Scotty and the Kelvin guy, yes. Or was it Kelvin? Yeah, I know what you mean. The wink of an eye, blink of an eye, whatever they call that episode. Yes, to get him drunk, didn't he? Which he did. And got himself drunk as well. On the green stuff. Because they drank all his whiskey and everything. They just had this other stuff, didn't they, that were green. Anyway, there's It's a Fake. That fella, isn't it? With that Romulan ale, it looks like it, doesn't it? Right, that Star Trek episode, Relics, is deliberately vague on the details of synthahol, and that's understandable. The last thing we'd want in the cool Scotty episode is a 5-minute techno-babble explainer. Still like to know. Still, Data's words have haunted us for years because he seems to be saying that those who imbibe synthahol can shake off its inebriating effects at will. No, he didn't really say that, though, did he? He just said it can be easily dismissed. Don't mean you can just shake it off. As I said, I always assumed he went to sickbay or whatever. Or maybe there were something else that could be that were behind the bar, that they could, another drink or whatever, or something that you could get from a replicator that would counteract the alcohol. That's all. That's what I thought. I didn't think you could just go, oh, I'm not drunk anymore. Anyway, that's obviously beneficial when the crew might be summoned to emergency stations at any time, but the science on how this could possibly work is even shaky by the standards of Star Trek. And there's Ben Sisko in, I think that's at the end of In the Pale Moonlight, isn't it? I think it is, anyway. The closest the show ever got to explaining how synthahol works, which is also that episode, to how synthahol works is that it can be broken down by a special enzyme in the human body, allowing someone to go from wasted to stone-cold sober at a moment's notice. That sounds neat and all, but how does somebody mentally control what this enzyme does and when it does it? It's not like we can mentally control our enzymes now, and there is no indication of how or why humanity will suddenly be able to do it, to do so in the 24th century. That's the first I've heard of this, I don't know. No bloody A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. Hey. Constitution class. There's one in the Fleet Museum. I don't know why Picard sounded like Sean Connery then. I don't know, but anyway. And there's Worf having a drink. Maybe it's prune juice. Who knows? Making this the default alcoholic drink aboard Starfleet vessels also seems a bit problematic, because even if we accept that human enzymes can now magically sober up humanity in the future, humans aren't the only ones who serve on these vessels. In other words, Starfleet has made something that benefits humans and potentially nobody else a default beverage. Benefits humans and potentially nobody else, as a default beverage. I don't bloody know. This might lend credence to the Klingon observation in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, that the Federation is nothing more than a Homo sapiens only club. The Federation isn't, but Starfleet kind of is. Kind of. Which is weird, isn't it? How all the Starfleet ships are like, they go like the Earth designs, don't they? You don't see like a Starfleet ship that's like a Vulcan design, with the ring and all that, or the Andorian ones. They're all like based on Zephyr Cochrane's, warp stuff, aren't they? Weird, innit? Weird. Anyway, how did it become so popular? And there's Scotty having a wee drinky. The last thing that makes no sense about synthahol is how quickly it apparently became the default Starfleet drink. As we touched on earlier, it was only one generation prior to this that characters like Captain Kirk and Scotty were knocking back hard liquor. Scotty himself notes how synthahol is quite inferior to the real thing. What in the blue blazers you just give me? Scotty himself notes how synthahol... I've just said that. And we have trouble imagining that Starfleet isn't filled with humans hoarding or simply replicating real liquor rather than relying on something else, on something less potent. But, Guinan did keep some non-synthaholic drinks behind the bar. We have seen ships fully crewed by other species who would like to see inside them. That's the USS Intrepid. What is the Intrepid? In the original series, they said were a crew of Vulcans, but that was supposed to be a Constitution class, wasn't it? Anyway, as Star Trek fans, we've more or less made our peace with how certain things will never make sense, like how the very French Captain Picard has such a commanding British accent. They explained that in Picard Season 2. Bizarrely enough, he was essentially raised in Britain, wasn't he, in England, and they moved back to France, didn't they? So there you go. Still, we'd love a good explanation of exactly how synthahol works. I mean, didn't the family move to Britain during the Second World War, and then moved back to France later, didn't they? Fully Vulcan ship in DS9 and fully Bolian in lower decks. But I bet still, if the Starfleet ships, they'll still be, like we see, Excelsior class, Galaxy class, Oberth class, Miranda, all them. It'll be one of them designs, won't it? I bet. Anyway, where were we? Still, we'd love a good explanation of exactly how synthahol works. If Paramount wants to send us a case, we could do a bit of scientific research. We're also getting drunk enough to finally watch the second season of Picard again, which I just mentioned, without constantly screaming at the television. Is that it? As I said, I always thought, I know I didn't really need an explanation, but it'd be nice if they had one. But I always thought, like I say, you either took something, either a pill or a shot or another drink to counteract the effects of the alcohol. That's what I always thought. Anyway, when he first asked for the original Enterprise in the holodeck, why didn't he get the sloop, which was the first ship of the name? Exactly. Yep. But that were HMS. Was that HMS or USS Enterprise? I don't know. Well, this is why I didn't get the NX-01. But that wasn't USS Enterprise, was it? So, never mind. Or the, CV, I forgot what they call it now. The ring ship one. Why didn't you get that one? That were USS Enterprise. Anyway. Yeah, the HMS, yeah. With a Z. Anyway, right. So there you go. So synthahol. It makes no sense, but only because he doesn't want it to make sense. Make sense of it yourself, as I have done. I've got my head canon. That'll do for me. Does it come in different flavours then? It must do, because there must be like whiskey flavoured and vodka flavoured and gin flavoured and rum flavoured synthol. There must be, mustn't there? Yes, ECV, whatever it was. Yeah, it had 3 in it, didn't it? 349 or something. I don't bloody know, I can't remember. Anyway, I need to go for the big owl. Oh, right, okay. Take care. Well, see you later. We've nearly done anyway. We've nearly done, so you're not missing much. So, all the best. Win Grace. Don't know what the big owl is. Maybe he's going to Bohemian Grove, maybe. Yeah, XCV 330. I knew it had a 3 in it somewhere. USS Enterprise, yes. The ring ship. Ooh. Right. Let's move on. What's next? I'm pressing the wrong button. Where's my F11? There we go. Last story. Doctor Who. But not about Ruby Sunday. Oh, the Super Bowl. Oh, right. Oh, the big owl. Yes, bowl. Yes. Is that starting soon? Is it? I might have a go at watching it. I've tried watching American football before, but it baffles me. It baffles, and I just kind of lose interest in it. So, but I might give it another go. Right. So anyway, have fun at the Super Bowl. You know, go I don't know who's in it, 49ers or whoever's in. I don't even know. I don't know. Come on, you Spurs. What's the Super Bowl? Is it a bowling alley? They've actually got one near us called that. The Super Bowl. A bowling alley. Me and Aidan sometimes go 10-pin bowling. He only likes going. He's not really bothered about the bowling. He likes their chicken nuggets. Anyway. Right. Doctor Who. Anyway, have fun with the Super Bowl, Wingrace. I hope your team wins, whatever that team is. And there's not too many commercials in it. It's America, there'll be millions of them. Right, the Metro, Sabrina Barr. Doctor Who star slates her iconic character's cliché ending. And there she is. The lovely, I forgot her name now, Louise Jameson. There we go, I just saw it there. Remember played Leela. One of the stars of Doctor Who has expressed just how much she disliked the way her character was written out of the BBC series. I'm a bloody pig, aren't I? Hang on. Winger says, my team already lost and the commercials are like 50% of the appeal. They just come on like in the middle of the game, don't they? Like, you know, because they all stop playing, don't they? You know, that the first down and 10, whatever that means. And then commercials will come on and then, you know, then they'll come back on again and then they'll start playing again, won't they? Does the referee have an earpiece? He says, they've gone to commercial. So he just like tells everybody to take 5. I don't know. I don't know. Don't have commercials in British sport, usually. Anyway, right. One of the stars of Doctor Who has expressed just how much she disliked the way her character was written out of the BBC series. In 1977, way back when, Louise Jameson made a debut in the sci-fi programme as Leela, a companion of the Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker, who we were talking about earlier on as the curator. Should be about 12 big movie trailers dropping during it. Yes, there will be, won't there? Yes, but see you later. Yes, enjoy the game and the trailers. Right, where were we? Her final on-screen appearance before a cameo in a short film in 2024, which I've seen, oddly enough, came a year later when she decided to stay, proofreading, hashtag, thing of the past, stay on the Time Lord's home planet of Gallifrey and marry Andred Christopher Tranchell. Many fans were left underwhelmed with Leela's fate, and the actress has agreed that her character's ending didn't unfold the way that she would have liked. Well, at least she had a happy ending. They have quarters, because they are knackered from running around in all that padding, yes. While speaking at a BFI, British Film Institute, Southbank screening of the Doctor Who 1977 episode Horror of Fang Rock, which is a cool episode, Doctor Who writer Peter McTeague, dunno, said that Leela's goodbye never quite seemed right to him when he watched her 1978 exit as a child. So he must be a current Doctor Who writer. For such an iconic character, such an amazing actress, one of the best actresses we've ever had in the show, to be married off to a posh Gallifreyan guard she's had 6 words with, never quite seemed right to me as a kid. So I felt like this was an opportunity to right that wrong, he said, according to Radio Times. I've probably seen it, that episode, but I can't actually remember. Sci-fi was still on about American football. In rugby, they have a break to tend to the broken bones and cuts. Or you get sin-binned. So you have a punch somebody in the face, you get sin-binned, so you can have 10 minutes. Breathe. Louise, 72, chimed in to add, it was a crap ending, wasn't it? I think she should have died saving the Doctor's life. Something really heroic. Or you travel forward and she's got a football team of children. Something dramatic anyway. I mean, it's so cliché, isn't it, that she's fallen in love. That's how we get rid of her. In January 2024, Louise made her long-awaited return to the world of Doctor Who in a short film. Bloody cat opening. I thought got cold all of a sudden. Bloody princess has come in and opened the door. In January 2024, Louise made her long-awaited return to the world of Doctor Who in a short film released on YouTube called Leela versus the Time War, which were very interesting, I thought. I thought they were very interesting. After watching the short film, one fan commented on the video sharing platform, and after all these years, she's still the Leela we all know and love. She was still a warrior. Kudos to Louise Jameson for flawlessly stepping back into the character. Another added, swear I almost cried watching this. I was there for her original adventures with the Doctor, and to see Leela still raging with the heart of a warrior, that's awesome beyond all hope. Yeah, it was the best bit of new Doctor Who stuff we've had. It was. Someone else remarked, and it was about 2 minutes or something like that. Someone else remarked, I am Leela, warrior of Severteam and of Gallifrey. I instantly choked up. Louise is gorgeous and brilliant. She's never left the role. While talking at the Doctor Who screening, Louise added that she had been offered the chance to remain in her role as Leela rather than to leave. Literally, the night before we shot my last scene, producer Graham Williams came up to me and said, it's very easy to rewrite your exit. I can ask you one last time. Will you please change your mind? Very flattering, she said. So she could have stayed if she wanted. She must have wanted to leave. Probably fed up with the skimpy costumes. Anyway. I was already signed to go and play Portia in the Merchant of Venice in Bristol, so there's no way I could have stayed. But I think it had been written with him thinking, I can change her mind, which is why it hadn't been a great big dramatic story. The actress added that she'd return to the Doctor Who TV series in a nanosecond if given the opportunity. Well, now she kind of has. From 1998 to 2000, Louise starred in EastEnders as Rosa DeMarco before joining Emmerdale in 2022 as Mary Goskirk. Don't watch either of those things, although I have watched them in the past. I remember her, she was in a BBC ghost story for Christmas called The Trachtenberg, which is really good, so look for that. I don't know where you can watch it. She also appeared in Midsummer Murders, Silent Witness, Doctors and The Bill. Midsummer Murders, there's a town somewhere in England called Midsummer, which is the highest death rate in the world. It's even worse than that town in The Lost Boys. And that's it, there we go. Doctor Who is available to watch on BBC iPlayer. So there we go. But at least the character had a happy ending. If she thought it were crap, at least she had a happy ending. And they could always go back to her at some point, couldn't they? So, which they did, albeit briefly, in that. So if you want to watch that, follow that link. Right, so there we go. Thought we'd leave it there. Unfortunately, no Ruby Sunday in that story, unfortunately. Right, we're done. That was the last one. So let me double check. Yes, it was. That was the last story for tonight. So we'll leave it there. Sci-Fi Quest says, I used to enjoy Midsummer Murders, was better than other things on afternoon TV. I've not watched a lot of it. I've seen the odd episode. It is good, actually. It is good. Also, I used to like watching Father Brown as well. There's some good stuff on in the afternoon. Anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? What day are we on? Sunday. Tomorrow, I'll never put it. Is it there? Yes. Tomorrow, Magnificent Mondays continues with the classic space battle sci-fi action flick, The Last Starfighter. Din, 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 din. Greetings, Starfighter. Great film, and so I'll be doing that tomorrow. And I think next Friday, an appointment with Fear, I think we're going to do. I haven't 100% made my mind up, but yeah, sod it, we're going to do another classic from bygone days, a black and white film. Sorry, we're going to do The Haunting, the original Haunting from 1963, directed by Robert Wise, who would go on to do Star Trek: The Motion Picture, The Haunting. So. Cool film, used to scare the willies out of me when I was a kid. Not so much now, apart from one scene. But it's a great film, a great ghost film. So we're doing that next Friday in the Appointment with Fear. No double bills, because they kill me. And me. Sorry, because it's a great stream as always. See you tomorrow for The Last Starfighter. Take care, and may the Schwartz be with you. We'll do Spaceballs one day. We will. Right, so we'll leave it there. As I said, I'll be putting timestamps in the description on all the articles, so you can go backwards and forwards if you're watching later or whatever. Behave! She's starting. At least she's doing it at the end. Look, she's scratching on the furniture. She's naughty. Look, you want to see? Show you what that cat's up to. Oh, she's run off now. Ooh, she's naughty. Right, we'll leave it there. You knew you were on camera then, didn't you? You know you're being caught. Right, so, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Oh, thanks Sci-Fi Quest, by the way, and Windgrace for helping me out in this stream. So, we'll see you tomorrow, fingers crossed, for Magnificent Mondays. So, wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say thee.